Hello and welcome to our channel. Today, we will show you a 2009 suspense thriller film, 9 Dead. Turn off the lights in your room and watch out. Oh, and spoilers ahead. The film begins with a perpetrator plotting the abduction of 9 Los Angeles citizens. He starts with Sully, a drug dealer whom he kidnaps outside his strip club. Sully is a Shylock who lends money to people. Similarly, he seizes actor Christian Collins, followed by the kidnapping of a police officer, Dean Jackson. When a dude named Coogan finds out about the serial kidnapping, he grows skeptical. He tries to run, but the kidnapper tracks him down and abducts him. Then he kidnaps the rest of the victims, including a mobster named Leon, a priest named Father Francis, a Chinese store owner named Nung Chan, a lawyer named Kelly Murphy, and a health insurance agent named Eddie Vigoda. He drags them all into a dark cellar, shackles them all, and covers their faces with bags. Shortly after, he enters the room, wearing a mask and holding a gun. He removes the victims' mouth tapes and uncovers their faces, demanding they figure out how they are all connected, as this is the reason for their kidnapping. He pledges to free them if they are able to determine their link. On the contrary, he will kill every single one of them. To add to their dread, he sets a timer for 10 minutes to murder each person if they can't figure out the answers. As he walks out the door, the victims are left in a puzzling situation. They have no choice but to figure out their link. Leon asserts that the masked gunman is a policeman threatening them because of their illegal activities, which Coogan upholds. Jackson disagrees with them and believes that the man is a real kidnapper, not a police officer. Eddie thinks that if the man is a regular citizen, he could be seeking revenge for the murder or rape of his relatives. Hearing this, Coogan confesses to raping several minors and even laughs about it, saying that it doesn't matter if his victim is a boy or a girl. He also professes to have spent time in jail. Eddie gives his proper introduction and decides to take matters into his own hands. He then begins to ask everyone about their past. He starts with Kelly, who plainly rejects doing anybody wrong to the point where they return for such revenge. They try to find the connection, but to no avail. After a while, Christian recognizes Sully because he once borrowed cocaine from him, which he accidentally sold to an undercover, landing him in jail. Suddenly, a puzzled Mrs. Chan draws their attention since she seems unable to understand English, and they mock her, leveraging the language barrier. The timer expires, and the kidnapper enters the cellar. When he finds they haven't solved the puzzle, he shoots Christian and drags him away, saying they must explain why he killed Christian. The timer starts again, and everyone becomes concerned about their safety. They take the debate to the next level by deciding to divulge their deepest secrets in the hopes of finding answers. Coogan admits to being sentenced to 5 years in prison for a crime he refuses to reveal. Kelly then asks Leon to tell them about his most heinous act, to which he responds that he frequently delivers arms but has never raped or killed someone. Eddie also exposes his secret, confessing to tampering with his brother's medical documents to help him in the treatment. Kelly shocks us by admitting to having slept with Jackson. She suspects Jackson's wife orchestrated this to get revenge. Father Francis tries to seem pure and holy, so he is unwilling to say anything. Eddie taunts him for his delusional righteousness. Suddenly, Leon comes up with a plan and asks Sully to break his hand so he can slip his hand out of the handcuffs. Sully agrees, and Leon is released from his handcuffs, and he flees, ditching others. The kidnapper is watching everything on video, so he follows Leon and attacks him. Leon manages to grab the gun, putting the kidnapper at gunpoint. The kidnapper claims to have been tracking them for the last 2 years, so he has prepared for each situation, and it turns out that the gun is empty. He shoots Leon in the leg with another gun and pulls him to the cellar, where he again questions the victims. When he doesn't get any answers, he kills Coogan and swears to kill Leon in the next turn. 7 people are left in the cellar, and Ms. Chan looks at Kelly, recalling something about their interaction. Mrs. Chan recalls Kelly taking her case in putting the thief, Wade, to prison. Wade was a shoplifter nabbed at Mrs. Chan's store. They suppose Wade must be related to them. Leon also admits lying about not murdering anyone as he had shot his brother and sold the pistols to Christian. He also tells them that the kidnapper has been following them for 2 years, giving them a time frame to work with. Meanwhile, the timer ends, and the kidnapper steps in and kills Leon. Father Francis picks this moment to speak and tells everyone that Wade was not a thief. He claims a guy once approached him, confessed to being the store thief, and begged for forgiveness. But the father refuses to reveal his name. So, Eddie begins to connect the dots and concludes that Christian borrowed money from Sully and was arrested. But after being freed, He must have looted the shop to return money to the notorious Sully. At this, the father decides to spill the beans. Kelly attempts to brush him off, claiming that she won her case on the evidence against Wade. Amid the discussion, the countdown is finished, and the kidnapper enters the cell. It is Eddie's turn to be killed, but Francis steps in before him, taking the bullet. Kelly addresses him as Wade, but he dismisses it and exits the cell. After this, Sully realizes that Christian didn't have a gun before robbing the store, therefore, he must have taken one from Leon. Subsequently, the kidnapper enters the cell and kills Mrs. Chan. Kelly begs him for her life for the sake of her son, and he becomes enraged at her for using her son for this. After he leaves, Kelly admits that her son is Jackson's and that she used him to fabricate false evidence against Wade to win the case. Kelly was on a losing streak, therefore, she did so. She also admits to killing a man who attempted to rape her. As another timer expires, Sully is slain since he is still too arrogant to stop his wrongdoings. The link between Eddie, Wade, and Coogan has still not been discovered. Suddenly, Eddie recounts Coogan saying that the kidnapper doesn't spill his blood while killing him. He presumes that Coogan had AIDS and that Wade could have met Coogan in prison. So perhaps he had also infected Wade to gratify his lust. He also recalls that Wade once had requested an experimental HIV medication therapy that Eddie's business was testing, but he rejected him due to his criminal history. They conclude that Wade is the kidnapper's son, and he is taking revenge on them for contributing to his son's agony. After the timer ends, they tell the kidnapper what they discovered. Then the kidnapper starts speaking, saying he has spent the last 2 years with his son in horrific circumstances. Additionally, he claims that the death of his son is all the fault of the Nine. Once everyone has had their say, the kidnapper frees them and says they may go. Once released, Kelly reveals her true nature and grabs the kidnapper's gun. She shoots everyone because she doesn't want anyone to know her darkest secrets. Then she flees the cell, and the police arrive. The film ends there. You guys are awesome if you have made it this far in the video. If you want to see more of such movie recaps, hit the subscribe button to become part of our movie family.